do the 1, 2, 3. Maybe no. 1, 2, 3. I'm the new Mr. Thorson, so this will be my first time in front of a lot of you. And I know that some of you probably got to see the play or the bully video, so it's been a good day so far. And you know, when we pull you out of classes all day, we hope good things happen. And I hope in the next 20 to 30 minutes here that I can get you to open up your mind a little bit. Think about relationships you've had. Think about your groups of friends. Think about maybe some people that you have hurt over your middle school and high school years. Maybe some people you've excluded for maybe words you've used, or not invited them, or you didn't invite them on purpose. And I just want to think about that a little bit. And I want you to think about the power of the word. Any word. And this is kind of a message that I wanted to bring to you for a while, but it really kind of fit into what we're doing here. The model I want to kind of think about is this, that we're more alike than we ever are different. And I did not come up with this. I can tell you where I got it. I got this at the National Down Syndrome Conference. My wife and I go about every other year. We went to San Antonio. This is our motto for the Down Syndrome Association, that we are all more alike than different. What I want to show you right now is just a little video. It doesn't use any words, and that's kind of the in thing right now, but I think it's very powerful. And it's going to lead us into a big part of what we're going to talk about today. It's something that I'm very, very passionate about. The bottom line is when you say the word retard, somebody is going to get hurt. I can promise you that. If you've had me in class, and the word has come out during one of my classes, you know that I'm not someone that's going to sit there and yell at you. I'm not someone that's going to belittle you because you use the word. I'm going to try to talk to you about why I don't like the word. And I obviously have a personal experience that we're going to get into a little bit more as we move through this. But what you guys need to understand, 200 million people nationwide have an intellectual disability. People in this room, many people in this room have intellectual disabilities that you are not aware of. One of your friends might have one that you are not aware of. And when you use words like stupid, slow, retard, it hurts them every single time. It hurts me. And I know, hey, I think we've made huge gains. 2 or 3 years ago in this school, we used to hear that word quite often. I don't think we hear it as much. And I want to tell you right now, it's not just students, young. It's our older population still using it. My challenge to you, or one of my many challenges to you during challenging, is this. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for the word. In fact, you don't dislike it, and do something about it. We can eliminate this word from our vocabulary. It has to happen. There is no reason to make people feel the way it makes them feel. And you're going to have some personal accounts here of what it does. And you may not think it hurts. You may laugh off. I know you don't mean it. How maybe the person that's hearing it is feeling. But bottom line is they're feeling that way. I'm going to show you a quick little clip here. Before we show it, I want to talk a little bit about the last two on here. There is a lady that was born with Down syndrome that is in the movie or the sitcom Glee. You may have seen her. Okay? My wife and I had the pleasure to actually meet her in San Antonio 2 years ago, and we saw this public service announcement down there. And it was powerful to me there. It does use some language, just so you know. We're all mature in this room, so I think we can handle it.
It's not acceptable to call me a nigger.
It's not acceptable to call me a spick. To call me a chink.
To call me a fag. It's not acceptable to call me a cat.
And it's not acceptable to call me a retard or call yourself or your friends retarded when they do something foolish.
The R word is the same as every minority slur. Treat it that way and don't use it.
Spread the word to end the word.
It's a pretty powerful little clip there. Go to the next one. And this is the reason I'm so passionate about it. And a lot of you have had the opportunity to meet Griffin before, and you know her. And some of you have gotten to know her really well. I would like to think maybe I'd have the passion I have now for it. If Griffin wouldn't have came into our lives 4.5 years ago, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not sure I would. Okay, maybe it's part of my calling, or my wife and I call me. But it has happened, and there are things we can do. Now, Griffin's disability, if you kind of see her, to me, I don't see the disability when I see her every day. I don't look at her and say, well, she's a little girl that was born with Down syndrome. Okay? When we walk through the mall or into a room, people definitely notice it. Okay? Do people stare? Yes. Do I have a problem with it? Sometimes. Yeah, I know people are curious. Okay? Things that I worry about for Griffin are, how is she going to be treated as she grows up? Are people going to help her? And what I want to do real quick is I'm going to show you a little video clip of her so you can kind of get an idea of her personality. And then I'm going to go into a few other concerns on that. Okay, so you kind of get an idea, and I'm just going to tell you concerns from a parent, because you guys are from the student perspective. You know, my concerns from the parent are, I said, Griffin's disability is visual. So you guys are all probably, as she gets older, her classmates will probably see her pretty well. So you can see it as she maybe walks down the hallway or something. But here's my concerns. Are there going to be fellow classmates that are going to include her in things like eating lunch, going to a school dance, being invited to parties? It concerns me. And that's where I'm challenging you to think outside your box a little bit. Are there people in this school that aren't included because of a disability they have? Do we just automatically assume that they wouldn't want to come with? The best story I have, if you know Lee Perry, the teachers in here all know Lee. Graduated how many years ago? 4 or 5 years ago. You know what made Lee Perry's senior year? Well, one, he was the basketball manager. He loved that. The second thing, Dale Moss asked him to come with their group to prom. You want to talk about powerful? That powerful. Aaron Booth's older brother David, his best friend in high school to himself was Austin Sumner. And it wasn't because Austin was a star football player. It was because Austin took the time to get to know David and to help David do things. Let me get it correct, not do things for David, help explain how to do things with David. So David got to learn. And that's what I'm challenging our schools to do. Let's include everybody in what we do. Now with Griffin, I'll probably still be here. I'll probably still be a principal here, so I can watch over a little bit as she gets into high school. But a lot of our disabilities are not disabilities that we individually see. Like I said before, we have disabilities in this room. You may have a disability of a friend that you don't even know about. But yet it prevents us from being successful, maybe in the classroom. Maybe we're dyslexic. Maybe we have ADHD or ADD and we can't concentrate. But the R word and maybe calling someone slow does affect that student in a very negative way. So what I kind of thought about last week, I wanted to maybe get a little personal account. Hearing it for me isn't going to maybe be as powerful as if we have somebody speak or a couple people speak. So the first person that I'm going to bring up is a fellow class manager. So we graduated with some of you coming up. And you're going to share a story. And try to put yourself in their shoes right now. Would you be able to do this? So I want to introduce Andy Waterfall.
Hi, my name is Andrew. I am a senior. I have a reading disability. It causes me to go slower in classes. Like, if I read something, I'll have to read like 3 or 4 times to understand what I actually mean. That sometimes I may have picked on, obviously comes slower. It's not fun at all. Getting called retarded and all that fun stuff, it's not good. Some of you may see me leave the classroom. Most of the time I go somewhere to concentrate. Like, there's so many distractions in the classroom. I just can't focus. So I'll go somewhere else, like the special ed room, and different places like that.
Have you ever been made fun of, or maybe that they didn't think you could hear stuff like that within a classroom or within a school?
Yeah, I've been called many things, especially from friends, but they're usually joking. Still hurts. But I'm not going to show it. I'm not going to show a weakness or something like that and BVHS something like that. And eventually just keep going. Try.
But I want you guys to understand something about Andy that I found out, and Andy and I talked, so he knows I might share this, is that if the words hurt Andy, he doesn't say anything. He internalizes it. He takes it in, he's going to deal with it when he goes home and he's alone. But when words hurt Andy's friends, he'll step in and say something. I find that to be very interesting. Kind of an interesting concept. Do you agree with that, from our thoughts? What do you think is some of the toughest things you have to deal with within a class or in classes maybe you don't excel in?
I would say like group activities, because everyone has their own clique and everything, so go ahead and go with them. But if you don't have a friend in that class or something, so you go, oh, I don't want him, my group is slow, or please don't take my group, please don't take my group. Even if you're saying it under breath, sometimes we can still hear it.
Last question here, Andy. What do you want people to see? What do you want your fellow classmates? Not just going to walk across the stage with students in the back. What do you want them to see when you look at you?
I want them to see me for who I am, not what I have. I have a job just like some of you. I play sports, only college.
Just takes you longer. Andy Waterfall. That picture, if you know Rowan at all, that picture kind of explains Rowan's personality a little bit. I didn't know Rowan until last week I met him. He came into my office. I had about a 20-minute conversation with him and instantly fell in love with his personality and his one-liners. If you're friends with Rowan, you probably know some of those. He's very witty. Okay? And Rowan wanted to share his story, and we're going to do this kind of in a little bit of a different way. Okay? And one of Rowan's fellow classmates helped edit it, and I think it came together nicely. This is going to be Rowan's message, and if we have some time, we're running short on time. Okay? So Rowan wanted to speak, but if we run short on time, hopefully we can get Rowan speaking at a different time.
Rowan is a senior at Brent Valley High School. When Rowan was 5 years old, he was diagnosed with dyslexia. Dyslexia is a learning disability that makes it hard to read, spell, and comprehend. For Rowan, the hardest part about having dyslexia is keeping up with other students in class. Because he can't keep up, he falls behind in his classwork. When students help Rowan to keep caught up by giving him notes, he feels like a leech. He would much rather to be able to do the schoolwork by himself. On top of learning that he had dyslexia at the age of 5, Rowan's dad went to jail. At this point, Rowan's life had changed. Rowan felt responsible somehow for what was happening in his life. Dealing with the learning disability and his father going to jail was a horrible thing for Rowan. He began to lay blame on himself for what was happening. One of the ways that Rowan handled this horrible part of his life was in therapy. His emotions would get the best of him, and he would cry often. He cried because he felt that everything that was happening was his fault.
Today as a senior, Rowan stands before you to tell you that he breaks down because of what he deals with in his life. He breaks down because his life is difficult. He breaks down because he feels like he is to blame.
It doesn't matter. In school is, I dot on it. I do what I'm told, I listen. I'm just a drone. Just another into the company. Never seen, never heard. Just whisper. No one ever really knows. I'm just that guy.
Knowing what you know now, what advice would you give a younger Rowan?
I would have walked up to him crouch down, lift your knee back, put one hand on the shoulder. Ask if he was okay. Sam Stewart's that you didn't know if it was one thing. Can't say. Your life's not too bad. Breathe it harder. Just both feet firmly on the ground. Look at anyone who thinks of you as different. And forget about it. Don't linger. Don't stay on one thing. Move forward. Keep running towards what you want. Think you get ready anymore. Just remember, still breathing, still alive. As long as you have a breath to take, then you got it. Good thing going for you there.
For those of you that want to help others that are in the same type of situations as Ron, here's some advice.
For some people who think that they have no hope, they have no exit, no option. Remember that as long as you're reading, you can do whatever you need.
Together, let's send a message to everyone, including Rowan and others like Rowan. Together, let's make sure that everyone feels whole. And together, let's make sure that everyone understands that you are someone that is worthy of our compassion, respect, and our help. BVHS, together, let's be the change.
Pretty cool message. You know, hopefully it kind of and once again, this is why I have the passion that I have. You know, the R-word challenge, or just derogatory words is stupid. Things like that. I don't want you to do it for me. Okay, I'm just one of your principals. I want you to want to do it for you. I want you to want to do it for Griffin. We can change this place to make it even better. I think this is a great place. We can make this a community that other schools are jealous of if we just want to make the change. So, we're behind schedule. Imagine that. What are we going to do? Oh, by the way, tomorrow is color day. So seniors, you know what your color is? Tell them their color. And sophomores, we're going to wear our colors that we wore homecoming week. Just kind of to show some school pride. Okay, so that's what we'll do tomorrow. On your way out, Griffin will be at one of the doors. We'll have a couple teachers at another door. We're going to hand out. We don't have enough for everybody, so if you and a buddy want to take one, a little card that has the long date, but it tells you the website to go sign. No. Our message isn't getting through, honey. It tells you the website to go for the R-word challenge. If you go and you sign up on Friday at lunch, we'll have the big poster out that you can sign. And you can also get a little sticker that tells us that you signed the R-word challenge. I thank you for your time. Hopefully, together we can all make a difference.